But apparently, like, TBN is where I was made into the warrior princess that I am now. Because I grew up with the princess part and how to dress and look pretty. And I was a little pageant girl. I won crowns. I enjoyed that very much. It was very fun. But now I'm a warrior as well, and I am ever so grateful for where He placed me, where God put me. To learn more about Him. And I've never stopped learning, even in the work that I do now. I'm constantly in the Word, trying to describe and reference for other people's benefit so they can make this trip way shorter than what it took me to get here.
I feel it right there.
But if I think of a little person or a young woman, or even someone my age or older, going through this time where they think that they're not valuable because someone said something else, or the world says this, or this celebrity, I'm never going to look like them. I mean, it is a vicious cycle that will never end.
The practical tools that you use on a regular basis, it sounds like there's obviously worship in there.
Yes.
Support from other women in a group, staying in the Word. Is there anything else that you use? Is that...
Yes, I can isolate myself very easily. And I think that that's important for women out there. If you're isolating yourself, that's a big tool that I have learned to flex that muscle recently. Get a mentor, bounce ideas off of someone else. Don't be afraid to call someone or text someone and say, hey, do you have a minute? Find the people that you can do that with. Like, if they're introverted too, maybe that's not going to work out. So, you have to find someone. When I started dating my now husband, I got a lady mentor, and my amazing lady pastor of my church, she was already in an inner circle of someone that I could talk to about things. And, I even talked with my husband's mother a lot, about him, got to know the grandmother. I mean, and a lot of my girlfriends who were in my wedding party, I would tell them about him and ask questions. And I have like a prophetic friend, and I try to keep certain people in the loop when it's big situations. And I'm a heavy believer in God speaking, but I understand that just as intricate as anyone else's relationship is with anybody else, God designed us to have our own special relationship with Him. And so I'm not saying that He's going to, say words to you all the time, though some people have that gift. But I start looking for Him to show up, and I just say, Lord, I don't know how you're going to do this today, but I would love to hear this, or I would love an answer for this, or can you show me a picture? Can you direct me in this way? And something that gives me peace of mind when I'm asked to wait on answers and you don't get the signs that day is, Lord, I don't want it if you don't want it. So just let, I don't want it if you don't want it. That's even for auditions. I mean, that's for shows. That's for my when I was dating, Lord, I don't want it if you don't want it. This needs to be you. And so I need to let you do your thing. And, if I don't get this, or if this doesn't come to fruition, it's because you didn't want it for me. And I just have to be like, yep, you know more than I do.
Yes. So Jennifer, what do you want to say to the woman who is feeling like they are past their prime, or they're struggling to find the value that God has really instilled in them?
It is absolutely a lie. No matter what the but okay, but my situation is. It is an absolute lie that you're past your prime of purpose, because if God has you alive and breathing today, there is something that He wants to do through you. And I think that you have to take a step back and look at what boxes are you trying to check that would mean you have purpose? Because sometimes those boxes have to do with fame or fortune or certain accolades, but you have to look at what does God want to do through you. And it's a very selfless place to get to. It's not super fun all the time. So what I'm trying to say is you may not be having fun, but that doesn't mean that you're off the wagon of your purpose.
Right.
It doesn't mean that the grit that you're dealing with right now isn't going to be useful for someone if you turn your head and look at what you can speak into someone else's life. And God is not away from you just because you're in the middle of a hard time. And it starts in your mind. So ladies, it starts with what is coming in, and then it's your job. It is your choice to believe it or to reject it. And so you have to take a step back from what used to get your goat, what used to push your buttons, and what used to make you feel like you don't have a mission or a purpose. Because the truth is that you do. God has you here for a reason. And it may be a different purpose than you think. But I encourage you to say, Lord, I don't want it if you don't want it. Even if you don't believe it in the moment, start having a verbal relationship with the Lord. Talk it out with him. Where you are today, whatever you're turning to, okay, that's normal, that's human. But there is something beyond that, and it takes today, not tomorrow, to choose to turn your thoughts into that other informative place of, okay, God, you tell me who I am, versus, okay, ice cream, you tell me what kind of day I'm going to have, which would be my first choice.
Thank you so much for being vulnerable and honest with us today. You are just a resilient woman and an amazing role model. I totally appreciate you. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. It has been my pleasure. I hope I've helped.
Absolutely. Now tell us, how can people find out more about your shows or your upcoming book?
Yes. Okay, so my landing site, jennifermcgill.com, that's where you will find a calendar of events. That's where you find my blogs, and I will have links for the album, links for the book. All of that will be updated. The book is hopefully going to be released this fall, and it has an alignment with the Freedom Fighters show. These are two amazing scripts that I've written. The Bravehearted Girls Warrior Princess Quest is for young girls, and it's about how you love strong, how you're bold for Christ, what being a princess and a warrior means biblically. Freedom Fighters is basically from tweens and up. So it is a whole family event as far as adults get as much training as the tweens do. It's for boys and girls. And that's all about what I was talking about as far as it starts in your mind. It's the who, what, when, where, why, and how to fight God's way.
Great. All right. I'll have some links below as well so people can check those out if they're interested.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Jennifer. I ask God to just put a special blessing on your ministry, and that you would continue to keep moving forward and bringing the truth to all men, women, boys, and girls. Thank you so much.